Grace is standing right at the end of our driveway.
Doing? What are you doing?
I'm doing Grasses.
Do you like the grass, Danica?
Grasshoppers. Oh, so you.
Money don't come easy, so most of us are chained to being busy, so we can earn a little piece of money.
And voila, guys, we have pickles, we have carrots, we have more carrots, we have beans, peppers, beets, more carrots. And of course, we still have all of our squash and our pumpkins, tons more tomatoes. I've made spaghetti sauce and frozen that. I would like to get into doing some more of the canned tomato sauce and maybe some salsa.
Oh, did that down there?
I don't know, but I'm gonna try and help them out.
Or we will die.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Let's see if we can get him out, eh?
Yep.
Before the cat gets him. Hey, bud. Can we move you? Aw, buddy. He needs some water, I think. We saved him. Don't worry. Don't worry, we did not touch the salamander. We moved him with a little bit of a piece of plastic and we moved him into a safe place in our garden away from our dog. And well, I'm just letting Veronica look at him. She thinks he's very cute, and then we will move him. You are noisy. And then we will maybe move him down into the lower area of our yard where it's a little bit wet. I don't know. I don't think there's much water around us right now. So, hey, gave him a little bit of our rainwater from our rain barrels, and maybe he'll just kind of carry on himself. Go off, little buddy. Go find some food. Go find some little food. So luckily we did find him before the kitty cat found him. He's had a little bit of rainwater, and now I'm just gonna release him in our little garden area. There's tons of bugs and worms and flies, so hopefully he has a good life. Where is he? He's going off. He's just exploring. There he goes. See? He's gone. He's leaving. I know. Alright guys, so we've been busy with our garden. We've done the carrots lately. Pulled the cabbage. Still got strawberries in. Squash is doing good. Our jungle of a tomato crop. We have pulled all the carrots. So yeah, our peppers are doing good, other than they're looking a little bit fried. It's been like 34, 35 degrees off and on, and it's been a super hot summer. Let's flash back to June for a second.
You there, won't you? Coming closer, 'cause I want you near.
All right, so we all seen that puddle and what our yard looked like in June and how it rained and rained and rained and rained and didn't stop. I'm gonna show you that exact spot where the puddle was in June, and I'm gonna show you what our ground looks like now. All right, so it's fried, it's barren. We got cracks. I think we're turning into a desert. And if you ask me what we were doing in June, well, I was about ready to pull out my canoe. So, yeah, it's been one interesting of a summer, very hard growing season when we had such a late and cool start. We even, the pepper plants I just showed you were the pepper plants back in June that I had cut right off because we had such a late frost. Anyways, so yeah, our pumpkins, everything had such a slow start this year, but we still did get a pretty good bumper crop. We got amazing carrots, we've got tons of tomatoes, our raspberries did good, our strawberries, our corn's okay, pumpkins are coming, they're a little bit slower than I would have liked in previous years, our squash is good, watermelon's good, cucumbers. What a struggle this year. Last year I had like 30 some jars of cucumbers, plus we had some to eat, pickles, everything. This year I've maybe got 8 cucumbers total, so that's a little bit sad. But we also have some in-laws with a garden as well and a few other people, so we'll do some trading because you know what, I got carrots, they didn't. Some of them got cucumbers, we got tons of potatoes, so yeah, we'll do some swip swapping and we'll have some stuff in the pantry for the winter.
My done dresses.
Oh! Alright guys, so we are back to canning season. So last year when I did my tomato sauce, I actually stuck the tomatoes in the oven with some oil and salt. Pulled the peels off when I pulled them out. It was kind of tricky. The tomatoes were beautifully roasted, they tasted great, and they made great flavor into my sauce. However, you know what, I burned the little hands, and I didn't realize that you could blanch them the same way you do beets. Stick them in hot water, boil them, pull them out, throw them into an ice bath. So I'm gonna try that this year and see what the difference is, and then I'm gonna take some of these tomatoes and throw them into another pot with some of my carrots, my onions, some of the peppers from the garden, and a few other things, and we are gonna make some spaghetti sauce, and we are gonna make some chili and stick that in our deep freeze with the fish that Mike got. The beef we have has actually come from a local ranch in British Columbia from somebody we know, so we're gonna throw that in there as well, and put some goodness in our deep freeze. Are you my helper?
Yep.
What's your name?
Welcome.
Veronica. How old are you?
3 nuts.
No, that's how old you were. How old are you now?
This time.
Is that 4?
Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Good job. Did you have a good birthday?
Yep.
come and go. The only thing I've ever known is true. Oh, is you. I've been the prince, I've been the pauper, I've been the star and played the fool, been the winner and the loser, in between them two. But no matter who I might become or who I've been before.
This is painless compared to removing the core and then sticking them in the oven on a frying pan and baking them and then pulling them out and then trying to get the skins off. This is so quick. So even though roasted tomatoes are really good, if you're just looking at making tomato sauce and you're gonna add flavoring into that, I recommend doing the blanching method. So you can use all different types of tomatoes for making your pasta sauce. I do find that if you use like the larger, like the beef steaks, and they contain so much water that it makes your pasta sauce like super runny. The best type to use are the Roma tomatoes. Look at that when I take the skin off. It's just dense and meaty, which is what you want. All right, so your leftover peels, there's a few things you can do, and I'm sure there's a lot more. Some people will dehydrate them and actually turn them into a powder if you have a dehydrator. Some people even look at doing the freeze dry method. I don't know a whole lot about that. Some people just throw them out. Some leave them on and put them in their pasta sauce. I'm not a fan of that unless they're like the little baby cherry tomatoes. If I'm using those, I will leave the peels on. These though, I think are gonna go into a compost pile. So we have never actually done composting before, but it's something that Mike and I would really like to get into because compost can be quite expensive to buy. And you know what, we have 4 acres of land, so why don't we start a little compost and see where that takes us. So it's up to you. You could boil down the tomatoes and then use like a cheesecloth or a strainer to try and separate out some of the seeds. I'm not gonna do that because personally when you eat a tomato, you eat the seeds anyway, so that's the difference, and I don't mind the seeds in my pasta sauce. So we're gonna continue on like this. All right, so these are our little onions. That's about the biggest size we got from our garden this year. We have never done bulbed onions before, so yeah, hopefully we'll try some stuff out different, but they're super fragrant and they are definitely gonna be going into our spaghetti sauce today. So I don't know about you guys, but when I make spaghetti sauce, I like to put a lot of stuff in there. So I got celery from the store because we didn't grow any, onions from our garden. I do have some bell peppers from our garden, carrots from the garden I've added in. Sometimes I even add in things like mushrooms. When it comes to spaghetti sauce, it's really whatever you want to put in. We're gonna let that cook for a little bit and simmer, and eventually we'll cook some ground beef to throw in there too, and we will have some lovely fresh garden spaghetti sauce for dinner.
Forget it, as long as I live, and that's saying a lot.
Alright guys, so it's been going all day. What we have here is a very hearty spaghetti sauce, pasta sauce, whatever. I mean, really, spaghetti sauce could be whatever you want to make it. And I'm just going to be freezing this. I wish I had a pressure canner so that we can get into that. So that might be a purchase in the near future. I've even added some black beans in there that I had left over in the fridge. I got the hamburger in there, the ground beef, sorry. And I got all the peppers from our garden and celery. And it is looking great.
So I guess now there's proof.
Also, if I'm being completely honest, the thought of canning and the diseases like botulism and stuff, it does really scare me. And I've been doing so much more reading on it, making sure that you're boiling long enough at the certain altitudes that we live at. So I don't know, doing the things like the carrots and the pickles have never bothered me, but when you get into doing some of the other fruits and vegetables, that's when I get a little bit concerned. It's one reason why I'm looking into a pressure canner, because I would like to start doing more things that you can't do with a hot water bath canner. So yeah, any pointers out there? If anyone has pressure canners versus hot water canners, what are your thoughts? Has it ever been an issue? Let us know.
My friends, I believe that the best is yet to come.
Coming back.
So there's the sun, super smoky out today.